Delahunty, and as everyone knows, I simply adore Stephen Joseph Harper. And so that's why I'm here today to ask you, nay, beg you, to get out on October the 19th and vote. Vote anybody.
It's Mary Walsh in one of her many, many characters. Well, Mary Walsh is going to be herself next week, and she's got something to say about getting older. She will be part of an online panel next week on ageism and other isms in the arts. Thank you for joining us this morning, Mary.
Yes, great to be here. I was thinking about ageism, of course, naturally, because you're going to ask me about it. But I was also thinking about sexism. And, you know, I think, I may be wrong about this, and this is certainly it's not scientific in any way, but it seems that on Canadian media and in Canadian film, we try to pretend that there are no old women at all. There seem to be some old men. They seem to make it through. But old women have just died out. I guess there are none. But you see on British television, they've always got like Maggie Smith. You know, there's just so many dames that, you know, no matter what British show you have on, you find that there's an older woman there playing a fabulous part. And, you know, but, and even in America, they have Margot Martindale at least, who sort of looks like an average older woman. But we seem to not do that at all. We seem to, you know.
Well, older women don't become extinct, do they, in this country?
I guess that's what happens. There's just some bears, the polar bears, go after the older women. But it's like, you know, Ursula Le Guin, who's a science fiction writer, but a brilliant, brilliant writer. She wrote when she was old, she said, well, I seem to have failed completely. I didn't become a man, and that's how to be successful in our world. And now I'm old. I'm an old woman. Could I have failed more profoundly? It's a great essay. Everybody should read it. It's amazing. Yes, I'm really happy to be here, and I'm really happy to be part of, do they say SARN? CSARN? Or
I'm not sure, but it's a Canadian Senior Artist Resource Network.
Yes.
And you're going to be part of an online panel for that. Now, have you, in your own work, have you experienced ageism or sexism? I find it hard to believe that you would.
By never getting, you know, now all I do, now this last summer, and I'm not complaining about it because I really enjoyed each and every one of them, but I just seem to be an old woman dying of cancer now. That's all right. You know, there aren't a lot of roles written for older women for some reason or other, even though the most of the world really is a matriarchy. If you look at the real tribal family setup, right? And the patriarchy, you know, is, but most stories, you know, involve women, older women often, but you would never tell from, you know, just watching television in Canada.
So how do we change that in the arts in Canada?
Well, I'm doing a lot of writing, so, you know, I'm writing parts for older women. And I guess that I don't know. I mean, you know, there's a certain amount of growth necessary anyway, isn't there? I mean, if we're talking about old women, but if we're talking about women, you know, the numbers are staggeringly low in terms of women in this country and on this continent who direct, you know, it's like about 11%. And even though we talk about it all the time, the showrunners, the directors, you know, the number of women who are actually in positions of power is quite low. And it doesn't seem to shift very much. So I think the more we know, the more we're aware of it, and the more we demand change. Well, you know, when the Prime Minister came in and he immediately made his cabinet gender equal, well, because people have been saying, oh my God, what are we going to do? We'll never be able to do anything about it. I mean, because how are you ever going to make a, you know, cabinet equal? And then he just went ahead and did it, and it was so great, you know, so suddenly half of the ministers are female, right? Which, you know, is a reflection of the actuality in the world. We are 51% of the population.
Okay. Well, Mary, I'm very much looking forward to this conversation. We'll get the details up on our website, chch.com. A pleasure to speak with you this morning.
And a pleasure to be in Hamilton again. Thank you.
Working